or do you make it and then you test it? You try it. And why do you try it? You need to make sure it works. And if it doesn't work, you need to find where the problems are, right? You test it to find the problems. If you get 100 on your test, that means you don't have problems there. Great, we can try another test, right? If you test a machine and you don't find any problems, you can sell it, right? It's the same with anything. So, test yourself. Let's try this one here. Nice easy test to start with. So, everybody, my name is, just put your name there. So,
my name is Joseph.
Okay.
My name is Jing Wei.
Okay.
My name is
Good. Okay.
My name is Jude.
Okay.
My name is Claire.
Good.
My name is Lucy.
Okay.
My name is Sergey.
All right.
My name is Wei Hao.
Okay, good. So about half of you passed this test. All right? So what does it mean if you didn't pass? This test is to find people who say this. Okay? If we're talking about pronunciation, one of the biggest problems for Chinese speakers is this sound here. But there are other bigger problems. One reason I start with this problem is it's easy to fix. Okay? This is a great problem to work with at home because you can fix it yourself. But first, we need to know why it happens. You know that a lot of Japanese speakers have a hard time with L and R. If you ask a Japanese person to speak in English, they often have trouble with those two sounds. In Japanese, this is one sound. In French, there's no TH sound. So, in French, you don't count 1, 2, 3, you count 1, 2, 3. Well, not in French. In French, it's a different word, but when French speakers speak in English, they have that problem. Every language has its own patterns, which can be a problem when they learn something else. It's not just learning English, right? The thing is you need to find out why the problem happens. So most Chinese speakers have a problem here. So why? If I say, 我太太姓林, 你们都听得懂吗？我太太姓林. Ling, right? You know, it's this word here that I'm using, right? Okay. Ling. Le, I. Li. The sound goes here. Le, I.因为我说的不是我太太姓林，我说的是我太太姓林。That's what I said, but you all understood me, right? So that's part of why it's an issue in English. In Chinese, lin, lin, ling 都可以。如果说我太太姓林还是她姓林，都可以，你们都听得懂。Okay. Now, there are places where there's different words in Chinese, but you understand a lot from how I say it. If I say 他姓, you know that it has to be a word that can be a name. So you make guesses. In English, we do that too, but not with sounds like this as much. In English, if I use the same sound, M, N, 3个不同的字, 3 3 different words, very different meaning. If I say, look at the sun, it's a beautiful day, 天气很好，对不对？ Look at the sun, 有什么意思？ I'm looking at this. A sum is a number. When you have 2 plus 2, then 4, that's the sum. Yeah. So what I want to say is look at the sun, right? In English, that makes a bigger difference. It's very important. Okay? Now, if we can understand why there's a problem, how can we fix it? If we want to fix our English pronunciation, 有英文的问题，英文的发音的问题，怎么办? Should we start in English? You 你们都了解英文吗？你们都可以用的英文吗？你们都了解中文吗？都可以用中文吗？ So let's fix the problem in Chinese first. Let's find this problem there. We're doing pronunciation, so I'm doing full again, sorry. Is the 准符号 the same as the English alphabet? 英文的 ABC 跟中文的 bpm 一样不一样？哪里不一样？ How are they different? If we're going to talk about sounds, pronunciation, 发音，要了解发音，所以呢，英文的 ABC 跟中文的 bpm, how are they different? You know there's the song, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Yeah. Are those groups? A, B, C, D 是一组 E, F, G 一组是这样子吗 ？A 跟 B 跟 C 跟 D 他们有关系吗 ？Are they related? No. 为什么 A 是第一个音？ Yeah. Why is A the first sound? Let's say it this way. You know we call this an alphabet, right? Do you know what alphabet means? 这个字 alphabet 有什么意思？ You know this word, alphabet. Okay. Where's the word from?英文的 ABC 是拉丁文的 ABC 来的。拉丁文 ABC 是希腊文 alpha, beta, gamma 来的。一个字母是 alpha， 第二个是 beta. So alphabet. So that's why this is alphabet. A is the first one, B is the... 所以他们没有关系，没有 A 跟 B 有特别的关系没有 ，OK？ 可是中文的准符号一样不一样？他们有关系。So if we want to understand the sounds, then we should use a system that helps us. 是不是一组？不是吗？是。Okay. Why are they one group? Why do they go together? You girls should remember this. So, 为什么？他们都是一组，为什么？Okay. You need another sound after these. Okay, that's true. But that's also true for these and for these. So this all makes one group too, but look at me, look at my face. B, P, M, F, D, T, N, L. 它们是不是一组？ Alright? How is B and D different? B 跟 D 什么不一样？Where do you make the sound B? Use your lips, right? Where do you make the sound D? D doesn't use your lips. What about G? Isn't this a map of where you make sounds, right? So find D2, right? It's just a map. These are all with your lips. B, P, M. D, T, N. Is with your tongue behind your teeth, right? So, tongue. How do you say tongue? 舌头, right? Thanks. 是那个舌头前面的舌头 right? 个可呵也是舌头就是后面 right? So there's groups of sounds, all right? They have a relationship. Now, if they have a relationship, then we can also ask, how are these different? 如果 B 跟 P 是一组，它们是不一样 right? 你知道呢 B, P, D, T, G, K 什么不一样 How are those sounds different? Because we have all of these sounds in English, and if we just look at the English spelling, it won't make any sense. But if we look at how the sounds are, how they're made, how they come out, if we understand the sounds, then English pronunciation is easy. It follows the same rules. So, B 跟 P 什么不一样 B 的 G 什么不一样 Come on. How are those sounds different? It's a big part of English sounds. This one here actually is the reason why when I first came to Taiwan, I thought that everybody loved their ducks. Okay, duck. Actually, there'd be more than one, so when I first came to Taiwan, I would ask my students, what do you like to do? And my students would say, I like to walk with my ducks. So I thought, hey, duck. Everybody in Taiwan has ducks. Why? But they weren't saying ducks. What are they talking about? dogs. This sound and this sound, they're different. This is a big problem for many Chinese speakers because they don't understand the 吞符号。你们的英文的发音的问题不是英文的发音的问题，是中文的发音的问题。所以呢 ，b 跟 p 什么不一样 ？g 跟 k，g k 什么不一样？是 b 的 g。不一样。为什么有气没有气？因为我会说 g 有气的 g 有可能，没有气的有比较难的，可是有，所以 g 跟 k。Where does sound come from? 在讲话的时候，你的音在是哪里来的？ Yeah, it's this part here, right? Okay, everybody take your fingers and put them here. B, D, G. Go ahead, B, D, G. So, 它会动有声 ，b 有声 ，d 有声 ，right？ 它不会动无声。为什么有气？是因为有声。为什么 b 是没有气？是因为气是这边用的 ，right？ So I know a lot of Chinese teachers who try to teach this as 没有气跟有气，可是不对，真的不对。为什么有气跟没有气？是因为有声还是无声 ？All right. If the air is used here, there's no air here. So, 有声跟无声，有声无声。所以呢，你们看，无声跟无声 ，ducks, ducks。有声跟有声 ，dog, dogs。That's a dogs. Alright? Because if you say dog with a s, it sounds the same as this, dogs. Okay, 也有母音的问题，可是也可以这样子。Dogs, dogs 不一样。加 s 很多的英文的词会加 s, right? This is a big thing in English. Every noun 每个名词 every verb 每个动词有可能会加 s. That's half of our language maybe needs an s. So if you have a problem here, people won't understand you. Okay? Now, 如果有声跟无声，好 what other groups are there? This map is not perfect, okay? It's kind of squeezed together. For one thing, f. Who's it? F. That's really hard, right? F. 是很难说的。So, so f is actually here. L and f, you can come in. It's okay, you can join us.
我忘了拿我的手机。
Oh, okay. Anybody find the phone? All right. F is a different sound from L, right? But F, H, 差不多一样. So let's do this. put le down here. 好。What about these? M 跟 b 什么不一样 ？M 是有声还是无声？无声的 M 是 ，right 是有声。So how are they different? B 跟 M 什么不一样？To have English pronunciation, you need to understand sound. 要了解发音，要了解音。人说的音是哪里来的？是这边，还有这边，还有什么？If I say the sound 有没有音？有音 ，you can hear me. 音是哪里来的 ？And where does it come out? If the sound doesn't come out, you won't hear it, right? So, 音是哪里出来的 Where does the sound come out? But, there's no air coming out. Where does the air come out? You need air for sound. So, okay, everybody do this. And now make this sound. Do this and say that sound. Try. Do the tuneful howl without your nose. B, p, b. That's this sound here. Right? So, it has a being. It's this nasal sound. Okay? N? Yes or no? N, yes. If you don't use your nose, it's D. N. That's why when you have a cold, 感冒的时候，你的发音有点奇怪, right? Your M becomes a B, and your N becomes D. So, what's the difference between these two? M 跟 N 不一样的是什么？If this is still our problem over here, in Chinese, this doesn't matter much. In English, it really does. So, let's look at these sounds here. M 跟 N 是不一样。不是跟他们一样吗 ？B, D, T, M, N. 不是吗 ？Okay, so what happens if you don't use your lips when you say M? Try to say M without your lips, like this. My name is. Don't use your lips. My name is. Right? So, ask the questions. Well, 现在没有用的 M 变成 N. So what? Remember, this isn't just about me teaching you everything. You guys have to ask the questions. So what? What can you do with this? 如果你了解 M 跟 N 是不一样，你了解它是用嘴唇，它是用舌头，这个你了解，你了解有这个英文的问题，所以呢， how can you fix this problem? How? You have to use your lips for that sound. Okay, how are you going to do that?
You need to listen more and practice.
You need to listen and practice, but this is a special problem because if I'm talking about en and ong,听得到可是看得到吗？ en 跟 ong, do they look different? What about m and n? Do they look different? M, n, right? So for this one, you can actually use your eyes to fix your pronunciation, right? You can watch your lips. So that's why we start with this one. Now, if you can say this sound right, it's a small sound, right? M and N. If you can say this right, then what happens? We took a 小小的问题 ，OK， bien 好，所以呢，
Step by step.
you make one sound better and you start learning. You make one sound better and you feel better because you're learning. So you start with something that you can